In this video, we are going to learn fraud, section 17 of the Indian Contract Act, and misrepresentation, which is section 18 of the Indian Contract Act. I guarantee that after watching this video till the end, you will understand these two topics very well. Let's start with fraud, section 17. Any of the following acts is fraud. 1. Suggesting a fact that is not true by the person who has knowledge of the fact. Let's look at an example. A wants to sell his house to B. B says, I want to buy a house that is at least 1000 square feet big. B asks for the details of the house. A tells her that he is selling the house for 10 lakh rupees and his house is 1000 square feet big. But in reality, his house is 900 square feet. A knew the fact, but just to sell the house to B, he made a statement that is not true. A is committing fraud. Second, active concealment of a fact by someone who has knowledge about the fact. Let's say in the previous example, A's house had cracks. To hide the cracks from B, A went and temporarily colored these. When B asked A if the house had any cracks, A said no. Now A went out of his way to hide a fact. This is called active concealment of a fact. Moving to third point, making a promise without the intention of performing it. Let's take the same example. B told A that she is ready to buy the house if A provides a space for car parking. A promises B that after she buys the house, A will construct the parking space within 1 month. In reality, A made a false promise just to sell his house. A had no intention of creating the parking space. Now, fourth point. Any other act fitted to deceive. This point is very generic in nature. You very well know that listing out all the types of acts that can be called fraud is not possible. So the legislators at that time included this provision. It is meant to cover all other actions by a party that include tricking someone into entering into a contract. And the last point is any act that is declared fraud by law. Some laws like the Transfer of Property Act declare certain acts as fraudulent by default. Have you ever wondered if silence will amount to fraud? Generally, silence will not be considered fraud unless it is the duty of the person keeping silent to speak or silence itself is equivalent to speaking. For example, B tells A, I'm assuming there are no cracks in the house. Let me know if there are any cracks. And A is silent. Here A's silence amounts to fraud. We have learned what is fraud. Let's summarize it. Any of the following is fraud. Now we are moving to section 18, which deals with misrepresentation. 1. A positive assertion in a manner that it is not based on the information and of something that is not true, but the person who makes the assertion believes it to be true. If we take an example, A tells a group of people that you can go and buy shares of my company. It made a profit of 10 million rupees last year and it is going to make even more profits this year. A has not even looked at the documents to see how much profit his company has really made. A does not have any information that says his company made such a profit, but A genuinely believes that his company might have made such a profit. This is a clear case of misrepresentation. Second, any breach of duty. In this kind of misrepresentation, generally there are these three elements. There is a breach of duty by a person, but there is no intention to deceive. Nevertheless, there is an advantage gained by someone because of the breach of duty. There are certain types of situations where by default parties have a special duty to act with utmost good faith. For example, insurance contracts. Generally, the insurer has a special duty to explain all the terms of insurance to the person buying insurance. And the person who is buying insurance has a duty to disclose all material facts truthfully. Another example that everyone gives about this type of misrepresentation is a doctor told a patient who was about to undergo a surgery that his surgery has no risk. In reality, the surgery was 99% safe, but there was 1% risk. The doctor has no intention to deceive, but the doctor breached his duty to disclose the full facts. Here the doctor made a misrepresentation. Third, causing a party to the agreement to make a mistake. Again, let's say this person does it innocently. This mistake is about a point that is important about the subject matter of the contract. For example, a second-hand car dealer advertises that he sells cars that are in good condition. The buyers will obviously assume that all cars that are being sold by the dealer are in good condition. However, by mistake, the dealer put one car for sale that had a faulty engine. The dealer did not check it before putting it on sale. Condition of the engine of a car is an important point about the subject matter. This will be counted as misrepresentation by the dealer if this guy buys the car. Let's summarize section 18, which is also known as innocent misrepresentation. We learned how false statements not warranted by information are misrepresentation. We learned about breach of duty and situations when someone causes a party to make a mistake about the subject matter of the agreement. We have learned both section 17 that deals with fraud and section 18 that deals with misrepresentation. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. You can also follow us on Instagram for similar content. Thank you.